fellow collectors, and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we are taking a look at the Squawk Van Playset with Steve from the new World of Stranger Things line from Jazwares. So apparently in Season 5, new trailer just dropped, by the way, definitely check it out. They have some kind of radio station, WSQK, so SQK Squawk. And for whatever reason, Steve is driving this van around. Now, I don't know if this is like a new radio station that they've created to get news out because, again, spoilers if you haven't seen Season 4, Hawkins is kind of quarantined off, so I'm wondering if they start the radio station to kind of get news out there to the rest of the world. We'll have to wait and see, but yeah, I'm excited. End of this month, basically Thanksgiving, is when the next season comes out, at least the first part. If you can't tell, I got this at GameStop. I got it online at GameStop, but it didn't stop them from putting a huge sticker on there, too, in fact. $31.99. I believe this is now available on Amazon for $29.99, which kind of makes sense, the usual GameStop markup. But now I think I've seen on GameStop's website it's gone up to $36.99, which is insane. And I thought I saw a listing last night on Walmart. It's not up yet, but it's going to be $24.99. So the price on this thing is all over the place. I guess if you're patient, just wait, and Walmart might have it for $25. If you can't wait, then go with Amazon for $30. Do not buy it for $37 at GameStop. I was impatient, so I paid the extra $2 versus Amazon's price. I had no idea Walmart might be selling it for $25. We'll have to wait and see. But either way, I'm excited for this because it's kind of a vehicle and playset in one. Plus, I love Steve. I kind of wish he came with his bat, but I'm assuming he's not using that anymore in Season 5. That was more of a Season 1 and 2 thing. Kind of open style of packaging here, which I thought is kind of weird. I was assuming it was going to be in an enclosed box, but not so much the case. Spinning it around to the back here shows how it opens up. The roof opens up, the back doors, the side door slides open. So I'm pretty psyched about this. So I think this is going to be fun. I'm kind of excited for this one. I'm hoping it can hold a lot of the other figures. So let's go ahead. Let's get this out of the packaging here, and we'll take a closer look. All right, so here is everything you get. We have our Steve Harrington figure with the small rubber chicken. I'm not really sure why, but I guess, you know, rubber chickens, Squawk, Hawkins, it's all related. So yeah, just kind of a goofy little accessory. But honestly, I think it's a pretty decent likeness. I feel like the neck is a little too tall. I wish the headstalk, like I can actually pop this off. I wish this was just a little bit shorter because it's a decent head sculpt, but I feel like you can really see that neck joint, and the neck just seems a little too tall. But it has a hinge there. That's a ball joint, so you can move that all around. He's got a hinge and a rotation at the shoulder, hinge and rotation at the elbow, hinge and rotation at the wrist, so you can hinge that in. Nothing in the waist or like abdomen area, but then the hips can kick pretty decently out to the side, pretty decently forward. Can't really go back because he's got a butt flap, but you can see he's got some back pockets. And I think the way they kind of molded the design into his sweater, I think is actually pretty cool as well. That's a nice touch. Then he's got a hinge and a rotation at the knee. And then he has got a hinge and a rocker at the ankle. And you can see his little sneakers there. Pretty decently molded. So yeah, I think it's a pretty cool figure. Like I said, I kind of wish he had the bat, but I guess, truth be told, he hasn't used that in a few seasons, but I'd still like it. But yeah, not bad. Just like I said, even if maybe just the other piece of plastic wasn't such a different color from the paint, because I'm assuming they molded this all out of the color of his sweater here, and then they had to paint his neck to match, and they just kind of used a different colored plastic there, so it just kind of really stands out, which is a shame. But if they could have brought the head down a little further so that it covered that, then I think it would be fine. It wouldn't be that big a deal. So if you just want to have him looking at the ground, problem solved. But unfortunately, just a little too much there. It kind of just distracts that joint there in the neck. Maybe it's just mine. Maybe that was supposed to be painted as well, and mine just didn't get to it. But it kind of just looks like they molded it out of as close as they could. And it's a little jarring. So, bit of a bummer there, but overall, still a cool figure. I like it. Gonna move on to the van itself now. It definitely feels kind of lightweight. But when you think about the fact that the figures are $10 a piece and this whole set was really $30, you know, you're paying maybe $20. If you get it at Walmart, you're paying $15. So I feel like for that, it's pretty decent. The paint applications on the side here look great. You have the WSQK 94.5, the Squawk. You even have the little porthole windows here on the side. I love the zigzag detailing. You got the hawk head screaming over here. That looks great. Here it says Rockin' Hawkins. Again, you got that there on the back. You got taillights painted. All that looks really good. Mine has a little paint scuff here on the bumper, but I'm fine with it. Again, same detailing. And then here on the front, it says Hawkins Hitmaker. And you got some more detail there. All the headlights even got a little vanity license plate there. So I think they went above and beyond. The paint applications on this are great. It rolls really well. Really nice there. You have this little satellite dish or antenna, whatever we want to call it, for broadcasting. Can swivel around as well as hinge down and up. So I guess when you don't need it, they can have it just kind of go down like that. But what's really cool about this, you can open up the top like so. And at the top is, I guess, padded for broadcasting. But even if you don't want to open the top, you can slide the side door here. So, like, if you're trying to imagine, like, driving by and someone jumping out quick or jumping in quick, you don't have to open the roof to open any of the doors. Now, the driver side and passenger side doors do not open. That's all solid, but you can load figures in when we open the roof. But this slides open. And then in the back here, you can see there's a little spot. These pop all the way open as well. So really nice there. I really appreciate how much this opens up, and that kind of lends to it being a playset. If we take a look on the inside, you can see there's a lot of molded in detail. There's, I'm assuming, a firework. There's a radio, a little monitor here. There's a record player over there in the corner. There's like a crate for records. I'm not sure, that might be some kind of dial or something they need for the broadcast. There's a little microphone molded onto the table. And then for whatever reason, there's these straps. So I'm assuming at some point, maybe they capture a Demogorgon or something, because these kind of unhook and lift up. And if I wanted to bring in a Demogorgon here, I'm assuming we could just kind of strap this guy down. Let's see if I can get him in here. This strap is being persnickety. But yeah, if we put this in here and then peg these back in. Now again, I don't know why they would want to transport a Demogorgon. I'm just guessing here. I will say it's a little difficult to peg these back in, but there you go. You could pretend that they've captured a Demogorgon or something and strapped him down. I mean, not super tightly. He could probably break out of that, but yeah, I don't really know what the straps are for. I guess we'll find out as we go. But yeah, we can guess what these are for. And I will say, like, yes, it rolls really well, but unfortunately these wheel wells are in the way. Like you can see there, I have to peg one of the straps into it. Where they really come into play, I'm going to close these up just for simplicity here. If you can see down in there, the wheel well is half of where you sit the figures in the front. Now, luckily, they do still fit. And you can see the steering wheel does turn here, which is nice. And I'll see if I can actually zoom in here. There is some nice molded in detail there with like the radio and everything, but you can see how those wheel wells are really cutting the space for the characters to fit in there, which I just think is weird. I don't know why they wouldn't just bump it out just ever so slightly, but like I said, luckily we can get them in there. You kind of have to make sure that you kind of angle the knees in so that they're pretty tightly put together there, but you can kind of get them in there. This leg's trying to go rogue, but there we go. Once he's in there, he sits in there, and here I'll grab 11. We'll put 11 in the other side. So you can fit two characters in there comfortably, which is nice. I appreciate that. Let's see who else we got. We got Will. We'll put Will here at the table, podcasting or broadcasting, whatever we want to say there. And then the other thing that's kind of funny, you have room back here These weird strap things almost kind of work as a perfect bike rack. So if I wanted to store Will's bike, you can see that it kind of works perfectly. And this is going to fall over, but you can kind of put this in here as a bike rack and it'll kind of hold that first wheel. And so that's the only, because this lid is so heavy, it's so prone to falling over. I mean, it just closes up, which is not a problem, but sometimes it's a pain to get it back open. Come on, there we go. I mean, it clips on nice and strong, so I can't complain about that. But I almost kind of wish there was maybe like a little stand I could do something like to just maybe some piece that could rotate up to hold it up, and then I could rotate it back down. But maybe they're worried about that breaking off. But anyway, like I said, you can kind of use that as a bike rack. You can kind of close this back up. And sometimes I find it's easier to kind of do these together, but it will kind of clip into place there. And then we can close this up. So, and now because I've been moving this all around, Steve has fallen to the side. Let's straighten you back up. So, I mean, right now I have 3 figures comfortably and a bike, and everything closes up. I'm sure if I took the bike out of there, I could definitely fit 2 or 3 more figures in there. But yeah, I mean, look, it's nothing special. But it's a decent vehicle for 4-inch figures. It can hold a decent amount. Like I said, if I take the bike out of there, you could, I mean, you might have to lay them down, but you could definitely fit 2 or 3 more characters, just kind of, or even if you tried to sit them up, you could probably fit 2 in between the straps, or strap 1 character down. Again, I don't know what that's about. We'll have to wait and see. You might even be able to fit another character next to Will, like sitting side by side. So I would say pretty comfortably you could probably fit at least 5, maybe 6 figures in here. Or you could put the bike in there, whatever you prefer. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty cool. I think it's a decent sized vehicle. Like I said, rolls well. Paint applications are fantastic. Plastic does feel a little cheap in spots, but I definitely don't think it's going to break or anything. I think it'll hold up just fine. So yeah, I think this is pretty cool. Like I said, if you can wait and get it at Walmart for $25, I think that's a steal. But if you want to get it right away, I still think $30 on Amazon is perfectly good. I really think that Jazwares did a nice job here. It's a nice size vehicle. I love vehicles and play sets for 4-inch figures, so I think they did a pretty good job with this. But yeah, if you've been collecting the World of Stranger Things line, I mean, I get it. They're not the best likenesses. Most of them don't really look like the characters they're supposed to be, except Steve. I think Steve is the best one so far. And I will say the Demogorgons are awesome. I'm really thinking about getting another 1 or 2 of these to army build a little bit, because we see them in the trailer kind of running around, you know, being an army. So I definitely think I want to get another 1 or 2 of these guys, because they're just really cool. And I've seen some people online say that they've given these like a black wash and they come out even better. And I definitely, not something I'm going to do, but I definitely think that could look awesome if you go ahead and try that out. But yeah, this is fun. I like this. So far, I've had a good time with this. It's affordable. I mean, there are definitely, you know, better detailed figures if you're looking for actor likeness. But if you're just looking for the characters and something in a fun scale with vehicles and playsets, I can't wait to see what they do next. I would love to see some more playsets. And the thing is, from what I can tell, most of the characters and things are from the upcoming 5th season, but Will and Mike are from season 1. So that gives them, by calling it World of Stranger Things, it kind of gives them the ability to pull from all 5 seasons. So there's definitely, I mean, obviously we need the rest of the boys. I would love to see Eddie, you know what I mean? Nancy, Jonathan, Joyce, everybody, Murray, let's get him in the mix. I mean, as many characters as they want to do, if this line's doing well. I don't know how well it's doing. Might be the only one buying it, don't know, but I'm liking it. I'd love to see it expand. I feel like there's a lot they could do. As far as like iconic vehicles, I'd love to see like a Hopper with his police truck, you know, stuff like that. Maybe one of the houses, like the Buyer house, or maybe even the what's the Wheeler house. For a second, I was forgetting their last name. I mean, that would be kind of a big scale, but who knows? Maybe they could do something like that or the school. I don't know. There's a lot of different things you could do. In any case, I'm having fun with this. I think this is a fun line. I definitely recommend checking this out if you're a fan of Stranger Things or 4-inch figures in general. I feel like you could even just use this as a cool van for other 4-inch figures. But yeah, I'm liking it. So definitely recommend checking it out. Oh, you know what? I had someone else. Someone was asking me for size comparisons. I did want to do that before I wrap this up quick. If we take Steve out of here. This is Captain Rex from the Epic World of Action line. So you can see that they're pretty much in scale. Maybe slightly smaller. And I don't know. I mean, I could definitely fit Captain Rex in the back. I don't know if I could fit him in the front because of how narrow it is. And because I don't think he bends at the knee because of his skirts. So definitely not. But I could throw him in the back. They are definitely about the same size. So someone was asking me for size comparisons, and I promised I would show that. So did not want to forget. But yeah, I'm having fun with this. I think it's a neat little subline here. Definitely check it out. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. And as always, thanks so much for watching.